Good one today. Darius Butler here to break down Colts, Steelers, and to defend Jeff Saturday and the whole timeout thing, question mark. We'll talk about that. We'll hit all the big NFL storylines. He will name a mayor of Shutdown City. Were there any great cornerback performances, safeties? What do you got over at Up and Adam's show? Also, I need a new show to watch. I haven't watched a show since like Game of Thrones and Veep back in the day, or Succession season 2. So let me know at Up and Adam's show as well. And very excited about this. I've never met her in person, but we have Julie Stewart-Binks. I'm a big fan, and she'll be with us to preview the World Cup, USA-Iran today. Let's get it. I need a show, people. It's the best part of having a TV show is you get to sort of include everyone in your misery and your, Google sourcing and outsourcing things. I ask about where to go in LA, where to park, what beaches to take my parents to, and I get answers from the great people who watch the show and are on Twitter. So I need a new television program. I keep seeing, as I scroll through things, this White Lotus show. Anybody watch that? Am I watching it? Okay, I'm hearing a lot of I like that's in my ear. Is it, and it's 2 seasons? Yep. And Jennifer Coolidge is in it, and everybody loves her. And here's is it a little scary?
Nope. No.
It's not scary. White Lotus, they all go to a resort, which is going to make me want to take a vacation, and nothing American Horror Story-esque happens.
No.
But weird stuff happens.
Weird stuff.
Okay, I'm into that. White Lotus, is there a show to beat White Lotus? Anyone? Is there a better show right now?
Not really.
The new Game of Thrones I haven't watched?
It was great, but I don't think it beats White Lotus.
All right, let me know. At Up and Adam Show, put a poll. Maybe we'll ask Darius Butler. We'll ask Julie Stewart-Binks that. We have a lot to talk about on the show and lots of things to get to, including my underreactions. What are we not talking about enough as we paint the playoff picture for the 2022 season? All right, we have to talk about Monday Night Football. Came down to the wire last night. Steelers took down the Colts 24-17, and they put any hopes of a late playoff run from Indy into serious jeopardy. And while Kenny Pickett really did, and we'll ask Darius Butler about this, he had some impressive moments, and we're seeing the Steelers team start to resemble the one we expected to see coming into the season. Anyone, including me, including you, including you at home, Debbie and Jennifer at the water cooler at work, chopping it up about this morning. This sequence, the brilliant call from Joe Buck and Troy Aikman is where we start.
We are down to 1 minute left. 2nd and 17, and Ryan right up the gut. Dives short of the first down, and they have got to take a timeout here, I would imagine. But they're not. Wow.
I would imagine. They're like, what's going on? And then, wow. Wow is right, Troy. Wow is right. The Colts then ran what can only be described as a disjointed 3rd down play that was stuffed. Finally, then they call a timeout, and then they missed on 4th down to seal their fate. That's if you missed it. It was kind of wild. And also wild and a bit bewildering to me was Jeff Saturday's explanation of his decision not to call.
Nah, yeah, I thought we had plenty of time. I wasn't really concerned. We still had timeout, so I wasn't too concerned. I really wanted, when he was going down, I couldn't tell where they were going to start him from going down, right? Like if he was going to get the first down, and then we got there. I expected us to get on the ball and have another play a little bit quicker than that. But again, this wasn't a press for time. We just didn't make enough plays.
Brian, play the role of most guys I've dated in my life, and I'm going to ask you, or I'll play the role, and you play the role of me. Ask me, how do I do this? Why I didn't call you last night. Where were you last night? Why didn't you call me? Ask me.
Where were you last night?
Jimmy called me, and then Jimmy said that he had a flat tire, and then he didn't have AAA, so I had to go with him, and then we locked the keys in the car, and then the window was broken, and then I couldn't tie my shoes, and it was really, like, what are you talking about? It's like babbling. And I like Jeff Saturday a lot, and we're rooting for him. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, when someone's like got, and they're just sort of all over the place in their explanation of things. Because, Jeff, the truth is, you guys didn't have plenty of time. The next play call was a mess. Everyone was running amok, running around confused. I'm making light of it. It's obviously not funny. I love the Colts. I'm a big supporter. I think with this, I just wish he owned it a little bit, right? And maybe he does need to go back and watch it on film to sort of figure out what was obvious to all of us watching and that it was in fact a mistake. But not every coach has to, double down when they make the wrong call. We know you're new at this. Lean on that. Lean on, I'm new. I told you guys, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out. I would have liked to see Coach Jeff Saturday come out and say, yeah, my bad, mea culpa, I made a mistake there. That's a learning experience for me. I thought we'd be able to make it work, but clearly I'd have been better off burning a timeout since we still had 3 left. Now, I'm not a coach. I will never be a coach. Ever. So I can't imagine what bullets are like in live action down there. But I do think that the Troy and Joe call was one of my favorites of the year with that commentary towards the end there. And the Colts, by the way, to make this big picture, they're 3 games back of a playoff spot in the AFC. And looking ahead, that moment, we like moments here on the show. We're a big context show. That moment could be the one that keeps Saturday from hanging on to this job on a long-term basis. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic there. What are your thoughts at Up and Adams Show? Darius Butler on in a bit. We'll ask him about that, of course. And now it's time for underreactions, things that are going on around the league. And I want to start in New England. So lost in the Hunter Henry drama, the kickoff return touchdowns, and another Kirk Cousins fourth quarter comeback was this. An absolutely brilliant performance from Mac Jones. Mac, incredible, shattering his previous career high with 382 yards. He threw 2 touchdowns, no picks, and made some absolutely gorgeous throws to keep New England in it. And I know this is New England, and success is measured in these, which I have none, and I don't wear jewelry. What adult human doesn't wear jewelry? I just don't. Rings and wins. That's what it is. And even Mac said all the right things after the game about not scoring enough points. And he said, I know that I personally need to be better, but I do think we need to appreciate collectively what happened and the way that he played that night. And I think it's potentially more significant than the result because the Patriots are going to actually make any semblance of noise this year in the AFC. Mac himself is going to have to keep making throws like this. All right, let's take a look here. Number 10, McCorks it, and what a gorgeous throw. Listen, and of course they'll need defense. They're going to need run game, play calling, all of that, and those will likely be their bread and butter, of course, but you're not beating teams like the juggernaut that is the Bills, who they face Thursday night, by the way. Oof. Or even the Dolphins and that speed and all they got, or the Chiefs. You don't beat and take down those squads when meaningful games happen without getting quarterback play like that. And I don't care that they lost to the Vikings. I don't care. I honestly feel more positively about the squad and Mac if he's able to build off this performance going forward than I did before this game and before this loss. And of course they can't afford too many of those L's. Here's how it looks right now. They're trying to creep back into the right side of this playoff picture. I do think seeing growth out of the quarterback spot a little bit more important in the grand scheme of things. I don't think anybody knew, New England was expecting huge things this year, but Thursday Night Football, like I said, against the Bills, and we know that he has not had a great time against those Bills, right? Is that wrong? I think that's right.
Except for the win game where he didn't throw it.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. That's actually fair. At Up and Adams Show with your thoughts there, guys. Let me know what you are thinking. All right, I need to call myself out here because I've been underreacting to what's been going on in Tampa. I've been operating under the simple assumption that they have one Tom Brady and they have all of this talent and everything's going to be fine. And then Sunday happened. And there's clearly reason to be concerned about this team. There just seems to be, I'm not going to call it discord, but they're disconnected, right? Brady v. Bowles, that's it. That's the marquee matchup here down there in Tampa. And maybe it's Bowles and the coaching staff maybe together. And the sequence at the end of the game really brought that ugly whitehead pimple up to a head. It was not good. And the ringer we have here, Sheil Kapadia, summed this up perfectly, I thought. Here's what he tweeted. Buck some of the worst clock management you'll see. Game tied 17, 32 seconds left, 3 timeouts, short screen, first down, no timeout, blah, blah, blah. What a disaster. So you're seeing the sequence here. I just like how he wrote this out. But Todd Bowles was asked about it after the game, and here's what he had to say.
You don't think about those things as coaches. You make the best decision possible based on everything that's been going on, and you kind of go from there. We had not been moving the football. We had 9 3-and-outs, so it wouldn't have been wise to try to call that one. So I made it. I can live with that, and I'm okay with it.
So Bull's logic makes sense, but this isn't any struggling offense. This is Tom Brady, and that is where he shines brightest. If you go 3-and-out and are forced to punt with 20 seconds left, you're probably headed to overtime anyway. You have the greatest quarterback to ever live and breathe and hate strawberries and only eat avocado ice cream. You have Tom Brady. You have to give him the vote of confidence and let him go win that game. So what's going on here? And between that and then there was this earlier 4th and 2 where Bowles decided to punt. You know, it has to have Brady feeling some type of way. The good news is the Bucs still lead their mess of a division at 5-6. We usually have Mark Ingram on. We don't have him on today. We'll talk to him about the state of that division at some point this week. But there's a fracture there right now. Tampa's running out of time to fix it and heal it and get the, what is it? Just the super glue, the Gorilla Glue, the, what's that stuff that, you know, the Flex Seal? Yeah. Flex Seal is real, does that stuff work? Flex Seal. They need to get the Flex Seal. Call the 1-800 number. Do you guys hear that? What's going on in my ear? Sounds like a plane is landing in my eardrum. Okay, we know the Bucs have talent. We know that. And that's sort of what I was leaning on erroneously. And I'm never really going to give up. I don't think I can when Brady's involved. I just can't. But at some point, everyone's got to get on the same page in order to the Flex Seal. All right, next thing that I think we collectively are underreacting to, so we give it love on Up and Adams Show. And please tweet us at Up and Adams Show. Let us know, or myself at AK Adams, or at Rissy. What is it? What is it?
Be My McBride.
At Be My McBride. Okay, that's it's a little. Why is your Twitter handle Be My McBride?
Like, Be My Bride.
Be my, like, oh my God, why did I never put that together?
I'll change it to Rissy Minaj. I'll change it.
Rissy Minaj. Yeah, Rissy Minaj is good. Be My McBride. Literally, I'm sweating from commitment issues hearing you even put that out there into the universe. Be My McBride. It's like, should be the most beautiful thing, and I'm over here dying about it. Okay, I'm allergic. When it comes to the Niners, let's get a clean cut for social media, ready? When it comes to the Niners, the past month has been all about Christian McCaffrey, his arrival, him and Deebo, Shanahan, Kittle coming back and being healthy, and, you know, oh my goodness gracious me, whoa, horror, shock, how do we stop all these great players? And I think in the midst of that, we have underreacted to how good San Francisco's defense is. And Sunday's 13-0, speaking of soccer, Julie Stewart-Binks will like that. The win over the Saints, which has to have something to do with why Mark Ingram canceled on us today. It's got to. A nil showing, that's like a, I'm sick, I can't do any, I can't come to the show today. You know what I'm saying? It's giving me those kind of vibes. Just giving me those Ferris Bueller's, my hands are clammy vibes. Okay, look at this. This is what I want to show, because this was this game, right? The 49ers defense leads the league in scoring D, total D, run defense, and has forced the highest percentage of 3 outs in the NFL. Now, guys, this is not to mention they haven't allowed a single point in the second half since October 23rd. Do you know what our show looked like on October 23rd? It was like a totally different show. The world has changed since October 23rd. Nick Bosa is making a charge for Defensive Player of the Year. He's up to 11.5 sacks this year. And can we talk about their safety, Hufanga? Oh my goodness, this guy needs to be a household name, and I think he is by now, right? Let me know how you guys feel. It isn't just that he ranks 3rd in the league, 4 picks this year. It's that every time you put on a game and watch, he is literally flying all over the field. Peter Pan here and there, unreal. And I think he's really mainly the reason that shutout stayed intact. So if you look at even just, I don't know what I'm talking about, look at this play. Fly it into the, oh my God. He gets the ball loose from Kamara. Poor Kamara had such a bad game. It preserves the shutout. Flying. Locks up the Niners win. Fly, Eagle. Is that what you're thinking? Fly, da, 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 da. He is absolutely Hufanga transformed a secondary that's been this defense's Achilles heel, let's be honest, over the past couple of years, playing at an absolute all-pro level right now. So I know we're going to continue to look at all the flashy toys Shanahan has on offense, but D'Amico Ryans, woo, keeping this defense playing this high, #1 defense in the league, and I've been saying it, and I continue to say it, the Niners are going to be the toughest team to beat in the NFC. All right, those are my underreactions. What are yours? As Darius Butler joins us to name a mayor of Shutty Town.
Ain't nobody safe when I'm in a room. Somebody stop me, I'm on the groove. Move, stop me, I gotta drop and I gotta choose. Move.
We got our captain cornerback expert back with us. He is the captain cornerback now, and he is on the Up and Adam show as always weekly. He's of course played with the Patriots, the Panthers, the Colts, co-host of the Man to Man podcast, regular contributor to the Pat McAfee show where he kills it. He's doing stuff for ESPN. Like, what are you not doing?
And doing a little bit of everything. Not F1 yet, just yet. But good morning, Kay. Happy to be here. What's up?
What would be the dream F1 gig?
Oh, you know what? I'll be the team principal for Ferrari. They're looking for one right now. They just lost theirs today, but never retired or resigned, should I say, after 28 years with Ferrari.
Wow.
So team principal for Ferrari.
So what is that,
Take it
like
back
the
to
team?
glory
Is it like
days.
the owner or the GM or the coach? Which one is that?
Pretty much like the head coach on game day, you know, going over strategies, when to pit, different strategies, different this, different that, when are we letting guys pass. We got to get you fully involved. March, new season kicks off.
You think
We'll
I'm
get
not
you
talking to Raffensperger about you and me going up to Monaco
Vegas.
or Vegas or wherever that?
Monaco.
Yeah, all of them.
Wherever, Italy, wherever.
The furthest, the better. Yeah, Italy sounds great, Darius, right about now. How was Thanksgiving? Good?
Thanksgiving was great. Great food, obviously great time with family. And it had some good football games, too. So
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was a win all around. Glad to be back, though.
I'm trying to do this thing where I'm not just like ripping the Band-Aid off and I'm trying to small talk, but let's just do it. Let's get into
Go
the
ahead,
Steelers.
rip it off.
The Steelers beat your Colts 24-17. Tomlin, wow, he had his guys playing with a fire and a fire really under Pickett, who looked awesome. Does Kenny look like... Evaluate as an analyst Kenny Pickett for me this year. Is he the future for Pittsburgh?
I mean, yeah, he's their best option right now. You know, you draft him in the first round, kind of middle of that first round. So you knew it would take some time, and he hasn't been starting a full season, doesn't have a full season under his belt. Still probably not full control of that offense, but he's getting better every week. These last 3 weeks, I feel like he's taking a step each week. And playing that quarterback in this league, it's about filling that pass rush. It's about reading coverages and then getting on the same page with your guys. And he got another young guy, George Pickens, who looks like he'll be special out there as well. Johnson's obviously a good receiver. Muth at the tight end position, Najee. So as long as you can get some blocking in front of him, I think he can continue to take those steps and be, you know, hopefully the next great quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Tomlin is such a good coach. I'm looking at the schedule for the Steelers. I like the teams, Darius, that like mess it up for everybody else at the end. You know? So I'm looking at this. Do you think this Steelers squad has what it takes to be a late in the season spoiler to some divisional rivals? Look at that. They've got the Ravens twice.
Yeah. Well, the Ravens, they think 5 of their last 6 opponents, and it's probably 2 of them the Steelers, are losing records right now. And then the Bengals. Bengals are getting hot. I know you're hot on the Bengals. I see the white helmet in the background. Joe Burrow's finding a way to win. This is the same time they got hot last year. So I don't think they're really spoiling anything for those 2 teams. But this is a year to, for Pickett to grow and just get better. And that defense is always going to show it to play. T.J. Watt, Highsmith, who really ruined the game for us last night. It wasn't so much Jeff Saturday as it was Highsmith just actually taking over on that last drive. So anytime those defense shows up to play, the Steelers got a chance.
What did you make of Saturday? You're saying it's not on him. It's never all on one person, but the clock management, the play calling during the last drive. I mean, it had Joe Buck audibly like, huh?
I mean, it was a different strategy there, obviously. I didn't mind it.
Strategy.
I didn't mind it, Kay, and I'm going to tell you why. It's a hurry-up situation.
Okay.
They were in no rush, right? You snap the ball with 30-something seconds left on 3rd and 2. You're thinking, all right, we got a favorable look on defense. We hand this ball off to Jonathan Taylor. He gets the first down. We call a timeout with 30 seconds left, and we're at the 20-yard line with 2 timeouts. Like, that's not a bad situation to be in, trying to go up and score. Obviously, it doesn't work out. Highsmith, that I mentioned, he makes a great play, makes a tackle on that play, makes it 4th and 3. And then Highsmith ruins that play as well, which we had a good one dialed up. We had a pick route dialed up to the left side to Campbell, but Matt Ryan couldn't step into it and make that throw. So obviously it looks bad, it looks horrible.
Yeah.
You heard Jeff Saturday explain it after the game, and I'm right there with him. But when it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You got to wear that hat. You got to take that blame as a head coach.
And he didn't. He didn't, but I think he was a little confused. I think it was all a lot. He didn't. He didn't say, you know what, that's on me. He said, blah, 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 blah. He was really
He gave you a thought process.
He was Micro
Kay,
Machines guy. He was talking, but back from those toy car commercials in the 80s. Like, he was really talking a mile a minute on that one. But that 3rd down play call, didn't that make things tougher on them?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you don't get it, once you don't expect a guy to make that type of play that Highsmith did. He just, that backside tight end is supposed to cut him off. He just dove in there and made that tackle. That's supposed to be a one-on-one tackle with Jonathan Taylor and the nickelback, Sutton, I believe. So I like that matchup. In that situation, once again, when it doesn't work out, you got to take the blame for it. You got to take the hit. But he explained his thought process. I understood it watching it. But I could also understand how, Troy and Buck could definitely be confused in that situation. It was almost like that Peyton situation with the timeout. But, I get it. But we still ride with Jeff Saturday, baby. We 1-2 right now. Obviously, our playoff hopes don't look, they're pretty much dead. We're dead in the water right now, just like some other teams. But hopefully they continue to fight and build a coach with Jeff Saturday in there.
I got to say, you're a great person to like. If you get in with Darius Butler, like, he is so ride or die that I just want to be in your inner circle, because there's no. It was different. That play calling was a little different, but we still ride with. You're talking about high. What are you talking about? I'm loving all of this, because you are for the people you are for, and it is aspirational, really. I just want to be, when people talk badly about me, I'm going to need you to have that same, what she did was a little different, and she could have owned it, but she kind of owned it. I just like the way that you operate. I want to talk about Green Bay here, because this number was nuts. This 363 rush yards that the Eagles put up on Sunday night. They could not stop the run to save their lives. And LaFleur said yesterday, he, quote, wouldn't even go down that road, because he was, of course, asked about making a switch from Joe Barry as defensive coordinator. So, this was another poor performance by the defense. What do you make of that?
I mean, just tough. Obviously the Jalen Hurts and that Eagles offense, they're tough. They're physical. They came in with the mindset, we're going to set the tone. We're going to run the ball. Jalen Hurts had 100 himself in the first quarter. Any given Sunday, Jalen Hurts can be the best runner on the field. You have Miles Sanders, who chipped in as well. Everybody chipped in. There's nothing worse as a defense than a team and offense just running that ball down your throat. I give up 500 yards passing before 250 on the ground any day. Because as a defense, you can't just go out there and suck for 3 downs and punt. Like, you just keep getting ran down your throat, play after play after play. They couldn't get a stop, unfortunately. But that Jalen Hurts led offense, they're tough. And he's always accounting for that extra defender in the run game. So there's nothing you can really do about that.
Did the Packers defense look out of position and undisciplined? Was it more on that, or was it, don't leave the Eagles out of it?
I mean, the Packers, they haven't looked great all year. They've underperformed all year, honestly. Tannehill, he threw for over 300, which is, I wouldn't say unheard of, but he threw for over 300 against them in prime time. And then the following week, Jalen Hurts and this offense runs for over 300. So obviously it's something there schematically. They do a different front. They got a 6-man front. You are missing some guys, but it's no excuses, no explanation. You go out there and play, especially in they're in must-win situations week in and week out. At this point, they're probably got a 0.3% chance or something like that to make the playoffs. But yeah, it's a lot of questions, more questions than answers on that defensive side of the ball for Green Bay right now. It hasn't looked good all year.
If you were the principal of Ferrari, the Dumbledore of Ferrari, you could literally drive your car in some of those wide lanes that were available for the Eagles.
Facts.
It's just true. They got beat up.
They got beat up, and the Eagles are a physical football team, but that's who anybody's going to see. It probably won't be Green Bay in the playoffs, obviously, but, Dallas has been physical in the run game.
Yeah.
We all know the 49ers is physical in the run game. So as it gets colder, as these games start to mean and matter more, that's what you're going to see. Teams are running the ball better than they have ever, I think, this year. I know a couple weeks ago it was averaging like 4.5 yards a carry league-wide. I don't know what it is now, but defenses, man, across the league, the run fits, the discipline, being gaps down, all those things are kind of at an all-time low right now.
Yeah. Do you think, great answer. And you guys, if you have questions for Darius, hit us up at Up and Adam Show on Twitter. Let's go to Tampa Bay now. I opened the show talking about Bowles and Brady versus the coaching staff. Do you think he misses Bill Belichick? Do you think he ever, be honest, do you think he ever misses Bill Belichick?
I mean, that was like the perfect marriage. It was a perfect marriage. You had Bill Belichick, who was the GM, who was the head coach, who made all the decisions, football management-wise. Robert Kraft, the owner, kind of stayed out of those things. And then you had Tom Brady, who was obviously, a great quarterback, but also a great leader and captain, and took that coaching as well. So that's why they dominated for 2 decades. Of course, you miss that type of situation. Now, he did go to Tampa and have immediate success and win another Super Bowl with Bruce Arians. But when you have when you're around that type of football mind every day, they're just going over every situation that could possibly happen in every game around the league every week, of course you miss that. But at the same time, Brady's been around for longer than most of these coaches. So all these situations that he's been in 1,000 times before. So whenever I'm putting the blame on the coach, if Tom Brady or Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers in that situation, I got to put some of that blame on them as well.
Yeah.
So it was surprising to see, Brady and the Brady-led offense to fumble like that late.
It's weird, and he's not on the same page as Bowles. And I think the media world at large didn't think there would be a huge drop-off when Arians left, right? The Bucs without Arians, Brady's going to run the show. He's going to be responsible for the to continue the turnaround. They'll be competitive, and it's not really working out. So, and you were with BA in Indy. So, do you think that people underestimate what he might have meant in his role to this team?
Maybe. And BA, he's been around for a long, long time, and it's great. Have coached a lot of great offenses. Obviously, he's got his first head coaching job when Chuck went down his rookie year as a head coach, and then he went on to Arizona, went on to Tampa Bay. But BA, how he runs the team, how he holds everyone accountable, obviously his offensive mind. You definitely miss a guy like that. And obviously Todd Bowles has been around for a while himself, second stint as a head coach. But it's definitely going to be some differences there with offensive game planning, with situational things, with a bunch of things. But, once again, it's no excuses, no explanation, especially for Tom Brady, who, he's 45, but he played at the MVP level last year. You got a lot of your weapons back. Offensive line, definitely not the same. Still missing some guys, but they just haven't been together just as a full team. It's just kind of been, out of sorts all year. And just like you, I'm going down with the ship that Brady's on.
Me too.
So when he's washed, when he's done, I'll be wrong about it. Still think they'll win the NFC South this year.
We're playing.
But I don't have any,
Darius and I are the violinists on the Titanic.
We're going down with it,
We're
baby.
playing it, and we're like, sir, it's been great. It's great to be here with you. Fun, everybody, get in the life. The life jackets are under your seats. Enjoy the cold water, and we are down with Brady. It's true. Okay, let's go to Shutdown City. You know the drill. Pick me up in that Ferrari, principal. Let's go.
Let's go. We got another Philadelphia Eagle for his first time. He got put in there late for CJ and made an unbelievable play on Aaron Rodgers. Blankenship. His first time, obviously, in Shutdown City, but making a big play. I mean, people don't get A-Rod like that often at all, especially on prime time. That ball would definitely be in the man cave. Number 2, L'Jarius Sneed. Not Ladarius, but L'Jarius Sneed. We still got Reed up here, baby. L'Jarius Sneed. The Chiefs, they're rolling offensively, but Sneed, he had a beautiful, it should be up on the screen right now, beautiful interception against the Rams. this past Sunday. He's a baller. He plays inside. He plays outside. This is his first trip to Shutdown City as well. And so is it for this guy. Martin Emerson out there.
What?
Cleveland Browns against the GOAT. He locked up all game. And whenever you perform at a high level against the GOAT, Emerson, sir, not only are you coming to Shutdown City, but you are the mayor. So congratulations, and looking forward to, watching you build on that, continue to play some great ball out there in Cleveland. That's Shutdown City this week, though, baby.
Amazing. I mean, I love seeing all these guys get some love. The Rams gave the Chiefs a game there. Snead interception, I don't know. That was after a very rare Patrick Mahomes mistake. So that was beautiful. But you're making, Martin just got here. Martin doesn't even know where the 7-Eleven is, the bank. And Martin just got to town and you're naming him the mayor?
He'll figure it out. It's been a lot of young guys in the inner city all year long, so he'll figure it out. He'll fit right in. Trust me.
All right,
you got Reed. Reed will be more lost than him. Trust me.
That's true. Those are the residents of Shutdown City. Darius Butler. You can check him out. There it is. Martin Emerson, the mayor, Legarius Snead, and Reed Blankenship. Yeah, Reed doesn't know what's going on. Reed's like, "Where's the post office? How do I get anywhere? What's the deal? What are the taxes in this neighborhood?" We love you, Darius. You were on the Pat McAfee Show, Man to Man podcast. We will see you here on Up and Adams next week. We have Julie Stewart-Binks on the program. Now, do we have to do drinks if we do Binks? Is that the way it goes? Oh, shoot. 8:36 Pacific Standard Time at 11 a.m. here on the West Coast. Ooh, let's do it. I don't know if the music is a weird music choice, but Iran versus US. What does that music remind me of? Like a 4th of July parade? Is that like I'm picturing like a fire truck and a baton twirler? That's what I'm picturing. And that, of course, brings us to the World Cup, which is a few hours from now. U.S. men's national team taking on Iran for a chance at advancing to the round of 16. This is, I believe, a winner-go-home situation, but I don't quite know. So here to preview the big game, a woman who covered soccer for Fox Sports. She currently hosts her own show on FUBO TV called Drinks with Binks. Julie Stewart-Binks, hello!
Hey, Kay, thanks for having me. Cheers, by the way. I saw you have a football mug, and I have a football mug. So.
A football mug.
It's appropriate.
We've never met in person, but I'm such a big fan, and I'm so, thanks for making time before this huge match.
Well, I'm such a big fan as well, and we have lots of mutual friends.
Yes.
And I'm very honored to be on your show right now, so thanks for taking the time to talk some soccer.
Let me just say, you deserve an award for hanging out with some of our mutual friends. I think you deserve.
We'll save that conversation for offline, yes.
Very true. All right, there's been so many awesome moments in the World Cup so far. What is the one that sort of stands out to you? Mine was watching, obviously I'm Polish, watching Lewandowski finally score that goal with my dad Thanksgiving weekend. It was awesome.
Oh. Well, for you guys to share that, that's incredible. And for me, I'm Canadian, so I got a chance to see Canada in the World Cup for the first time in my lifetime. There's been 36 years, and just the feeling I had watching the Canadian national anthem at a Canadian bar in New York City was unlike anything else, because we've only ever done that for hockey pretty much. Yeah. And so seeing in the next match, of course, it was very difficult to watch them not be able to score against Belgium, but then seeing them have Alphonso Davies, like the wonder kid who's just one of the best players in the world, score within 2 minutes was just, I was screaming here. And then everything went downhill after that, and they were one of the first teams to be eliminated alongside Qatar. And we won't talk about that, but those moments were something that were just special to experience.
What was the bar? What was the hockey turned football bar experience like in NYC?
Oh, it was wonderful. There's a lot of Canadians here, of course, and a lot of them were cheering like, okay, get pucks in deep. Like, let's get them, boys, just like, and kind of just those joking hockey terms in a way. But there are a lot of Canadian soccer fans that have been watching Canada soccer for years. And finally they got a moment to show the world what they can do. And then it wasn't what we thought. But it was good to just be able to see them there.
It's so true. You just have to enjoy the moments, like on the world's biggest stage. It's incredible. And that's what I would tell all U.S. fans excited for this match in a couple of hours here. USA, Iran. It is win or go home, right? What do we need to know about this match?
Yeah, really, it's do or die for the U.S. They got to go out there and they have to score goals. And that's something that has eluded them other than when they scored against Wales. They were unable to put it at the back of the net against England, even though they played really well. And depending on what side of the pond you're on, the British went bonkers for the fact that they couldn't score against the U.S. And the U.S. sort of was left feeling like, maybe there was something we could have done. There was so many opportunities on set pieces. There were a number of opportunities for guys like Weston McKennie, who will just always think about roofing that ball above the crossbar. But now they're against Iran, so we know that Iran just needs a draw to advance. They're going to play this game differently.
Got it.
We talked a lot about the fact that they're going to try to have this low block. They're going to park the bus, bunker in, play very compact defensively, frustrate the U.S., and then probably what they've done in the last 2 matches is being able to score late goals. So it's maybe taking advantage of tired legs late in the game or hitting them on the counter. So the U.S. has to score early, of course, because then the pressure starts to build. And then it starts to get in your mind like, oh no, are we not going to advance out of the group? We haven't been in the World Cup in 8 years. And so anything less than winning will be really, it's not acceptable for U.S. soccer.
Is it a disappointment to not? Is it not
Yes.
acceptable? But they didn't even. To me, they didn't qualify last year. They missed it. They came here.
But
they gave an epic, a storied team that gets there every 4 years and very close in England. It's seen as a disappointment.
Yes. This is not like Canada's like, oh, well, we made it here and it was great and woohoo, whatever, yay, what participation medals for everyone. No, the USA, one of the superpowers in all of sports in the entire world, they need to be able to win this game and not make it bigger than the moment, not make it, we've got to make it to a certain level of the World Cup. Just beat Iran in this match because this is a game you should be able to win. The fact that they were able to hold England to a draw and that they should have been able to come out with a win against Wales, this one is a game that you should win. If you can't win, it is going to be a huge disappointment. You have more talent than Iran. You have the ability to do it, but you have to be able to play this game right. And in terms of putting goals in the back of the net, that's something that the U.S. has to be able to set up for. We don't know what the lineup is at this particular moment, but we've seen guys like Gio Reyna. Everyone is clamoring for him to see more than he's only had 7 minutes so far in this World Cup. And he's been playing for Borussia Dortmund. He's been healthy from what we know. He is a guy that can put the ball in the back of the net and create that magic, as well as a guy like Brendan Aronson, who's also been really good on set pieces. And they had 7 corners, the U.S. last time. Christian Pulisic wasn't able to find anyone in the box to be able to convert that properly. So if you have all this talent and you come up short, like that's just not good enough. And so when I look at this team, Kay, like to sort of make more of like a football analogy here, they kind of remind me of, you have a lot of weapons. So you've got a lot of running backs, you got a lot of wide receivers, but like you're missing that star quarterback.
Right.
You've got like an okay quarterback, but like maybe that's your Christian Pulisic. I liken them to the Tennessee Titans. Okay.
To the
so
who?
I don't want to.
Conrad, get on my ear. Who? What did you say?
I don't want to say Pulisic is Ryan Tannehill, but like you can't put all of your eggs into the Pulisic basket. You've got to be able to have a bit more of a well-rounded team.
You named some other studs that could, score, and somebody has to step up. They don't have a pure striker, but neither does Iran, do they? Like they just sort of have to. Somebody has to step up and get it done. And you see it in NFL teams that happens, even if there's not one superstar. Like teams that have gone and had success. But if the guy isn't Pulisic, what was the name of the guy that we should be looking for that could, be the favorite to sort of emerge and put them on the map on an international stage?
Well, right now, one of the best players on the pitch so far in terms of their forward ability is Timothy Weah. He's the one that scored the only goal so far. But it depends on how this team looks and how this team, the formation is, and how they line up. We see that I would like to see Gio Reyna have more time in this match. He will likely get more time because based on the group stage, like guys are played a certain number of minutes to try to rotate them around so they're not just so overloaded the whole time. The U.S. has played pretty much the same starting 11 from both matches. So you're going to see some fatigue with guys like Weston McKennie and who else has played? Oh, Anthony Robinson and Christian Pulisic have both played 180 minutes. That's like unheard of. And Musa's played 165. A lot of these guys have played a lot. So we're going to have to see how Berhalter manages this game, right? Like you have to think about that because these guys aren't they just can't go the entire time. It's not like they have this on switch. They're going to start to feel fatigue at some point in this match. So Weah, Reyna, Aronson can do something. Jesus Ferreira could be starting. He is a very good option up top. So they have the weapons. They just have to be able to just put the ball in the back of the net.
I'm still thinking about this. Is it viewed as a disappointment conversation?
Yes.
Because I want to know what success would be then for me. And I think a lot of this comes from
winning.
You mentioned a mentality of we want to be the best. We're always the best on any sort of competitive stage, whether it's here in the U.S. or internationally. And then I wonder how much of that is tied into the success the women have had. Because the U.S. women's national team, their winning culture over the last 30 years, I mean, we have 4 World Cup championships. I wonder if that's sort of given Americans a taste of winning in soccer. And I bet that some of that disappointment would be tied to that. I ask you, what would be considered a successful World Cup run for this men's team?
It would be just get out of the group because, I mean, they could face Netherlands or Senegal, Ecuador. That game is going on right now. But it depends on, there's a lot of permutations on how things happen in this match. They're likely in this group going to come in second. That means they'd probably play Senegal or Ecuador. They could beat one of those teams. If they're able to, we'll focus at the task at hand, get out of the group and then win a knockout game, that would be success. Very, very successful.
Good. I
just
like that
get into the
perspective.
knockout stages as well. But if you don't, that is a disappointment.
Who's winning the World Cup according to Julie Stewart-Binks? Let's put you on the spot.
I think it's going to come down to, based on the brackets, I like Argentina in particular, even though they blew it in the first match against Saudi Arabia. This is a different team and a different Messi. And just looking at the phrasing of him saying, you know, the pressure's been lifted off of us. You know, we've made peace, relief. All these are things that have been huge parts of Messi's career and all the stress on top of him. He left the national team a few years ago, but then after they won Copa America this summer against Brazil in Brazil, and they went on this crazy 36 match unbeaten streak, then they lose that first match, but they came back strong, and seeing that like elation and they're partying and celebrating after winning one match, and that was against Mexico. It feels as though they're a bit of a different club right now. Like they're a different identity. And if you can get guys like Lautaro Martinez to find the back of the net, he had 7 goals in qualifying, same number as Messi. So he's incredible as well. Brazil is obviously one of the favorites for a reason, but Neymar's not 100%. And they have a very difficult road to the World Cup in which they would be facing potentially an Uruguay squad, Spain, France, Argentina, like all these different ones on the way there, essentially. And
I'm
then
so sorry.
France,
France is great. I gotta tell you, we're running up against the clock. Your Argentina pick. Argentina's gonna lose. They're not gonna even advance to the round of 16. Like they're going to lose.
Yeah, they do have a big match against your Polish squad.
It's a showdown. It's not a big match. It is the biggest match in history. They're going to lose. Messi's not even going to score. It's going to be awful. And they're not going to advance to the stage of 16, which is wild. And if they draw, they need help. And if they lose, they're eliminated. So I'm so
I think
sorry.
if they draw, they could get some help because Mexico is imploding on the inside right now.
Yeah, that's
But Saudi
true.
Arabia looks like a fun pick if you're looking for value.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so you like Argentina the best, which I do love and would like to see. And I'd like to see Messi get that for his national team. It's never quite worked out for him, and we're on the World Cup stage. And then we've got you like France, yeah?
Well, see, I would not like them based on past history. Like, there's never been a back-to-back champion since 1962, but they look good, and Kylian Mbappe looks absolutely incredible. So without Karim Benzema and a number of guys that were left back home with injuries, like they look great. And Olivier Giroud has found the youth that he didn't have in 2018 to find the back of the net. So they do look good. Maybe they can break that curse. But I also know it's kind of a chaos cup right now, and I could see a dark horse. My dark horse is Portugal right now.
Whoa. But I love that. Stars on Stars, Iran and U.S. today at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to do something with you before we leave. We're going to have a little fun, and we're going to play Fill in the Binks. Yes, Julie, dream guest on Drinks with Binks on FUBO TV.
Oh, wow. Lady Gaga, like Hundo P.
I love that. Lady Gaga, she says, this year for Halloween, you dressed up as what?
Oh, I dressed up as Professor Snape.
I think we have a photo. Do we have a photo? Oh, there it is. Oh, no, we have a video.
Oh, yes.
this is a lot.
Oh, yes, quite. Yes, this is me on Halloween. You know, Hot Girl Halloween is being Severus Snape, which I just went around the West Village of New York and I flung my cape everywhere, and it felt right, because that's what Snape always does, you know, around every corner.
That's what I need. That's what I need Pulisic to do out there. Hey, Team USA, throw some bows out there today against Iran,
yes,
baby.
He should bring his invisibility cloak out there.
Yeah.
And then he can figure out a way to, sneak
Isn't
past
Quidditch
those
a thing?
defenders.
You're gonna die. I've never seen Harry Potter. Is Quidditch a thing? Okay, I literally thought I made. That's the third reference I've made to Harry Potter to today's show that I've never seen it.
I heard you talking about Dumbledore in the last segment, and I was
Made it
like,
up.
wow, this is a big Harry Potter show, I guess.
Made it up. Okay, who's your favorite hockey team quickly to watch right now? Speed round. Who's killing it?
The New Jersey Devils, they're absolutely insanely good, and that's pretty much it.
All right, I love that. I was told I went on like a hockey show as a guest. Literally don't know anything about hockey. And I asked them who I should root for, and they said the Maple Leafs. And I think you're a fan of them.
They said root for the Leafs.
And
They're
some
trying
guy
to
named,
cause you.
Robertson?
Well, they're trying to just cause you like a lifetime of pain and hurt, and just maybe being like a USA soccer fan, really.
Right. Or a Bears fan, Julie.
Bears fan.
Best tip you ever learned from your improv class. Quick.
Respond to the last thing people said.
All right. I will do that by asking you my last question. What is your guilty pleasure?
I love cookies. I love cookies so much. I eat cookies every day.
I love that about you. And give me a TV show that I need to watch immediately.
If you haven't seen Only Murders, very big into that right now.
Okay, Marissa says that I should watch that as well. Julie Stewart-Binks, good luck to Team USA and to you. You can catch your show Drinks with Binks on FUBO TV.
Go USA.
You're coming back, so get comfortable.
Thank you.
Bye,
Cheers.
Julie.
Thanks for having me on.
Looking for a new TV show. Michael says it's only a few episodes in, but Sly is killing it in Tulsa King. Sly, Sylvester Stallone Sly? Tulsa King? All right, I'll give it a shot. We'll be back. Dumbledore and Quidditch, and what else is the Harry Potter thing? Snape? Who does this? I don't know. Our show's over. Goodbye.